The Milwaukee Bucks have found their hidden gem as the Bucks blow out the Toronto Raptors in a game that saw Damian Lillard carry Giannis barely take any shots, but most importantly, the young guys shine through, and one player in particular was very impressive and is going to be integral going forward for this team. Stay tuned for all that in this episode, but before we get into it, folks, a quick reminder, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're very, very close to 2,000 subscribers. If you want to help us towards that goal and you're part of the 83% who aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button. And thank you guys once again for your continued support over here. I see it, and hopefully the Bucks can get back to their winning ways like they did tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, a lot to go over tonight. And again, coming into this game, the big storyline was Chris Middleton. He is out with an injury once again. And I mean, I've been on the channel. I made a video on it earlier today about how the Bucks have been playing a lot better without Chris Middleton anyway. So how much does that actually matter? And they come out tonight and they curb stomp the Toronto Raptors in a very important game for this club. And if you would have lost this game now, I will preface this by saying the Raptors, this was the first time all year that they had their full starting lineup. So they are a lot better on paper than they're a lot better, on paper than they were the entire season. But from start to finish, it was a great game from the Milwaukee Bucks. And there's a few different things I want to focus on. And obviously the highlight, who I'll get into a little bit later, is Andre Jackson Jr. And if you didn't watch this game, the stats don't do it justice. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. He was an absolute menace out there. But I want to start with a couple things. So obviously Taurean Prince slides in replacement of Chris Middleton. And heading into this game, Chris Middleton has been a big point of conversation. The team plays better when he's not on the floor. That's been the big storyline going around, and it's not because he's been inefficient. He's been very efficient. His defense is lackluster, and he has been turning over the ball a ton. They go into this game tonight, and the team, without Chris Middleton, you have Taurean Prince. He had a solid game, a plus 30, a team high. But the team just stepped up and looked better. And the past few games has been some of the Bucks' best basketball, and it's been without their best basketball of the season, which hasn't been the past few games. It's been tonight and then earlier games in the season, has been when Chris Middleton has been out. And is it a little bit reactionary and is it a little bit potentially overreacting? Maybe. But I do think that Chris Middleton is going to be, an interesting conversation to have surrounding a trade. And we're going to be diving into a big video tomorrow surrounding a trade. Jimmy Butler, there's a lot of rumors going on there. We'll cover that tomorrow. But as you think about whether it's Jimmy Butler, whether it's other guys, there's a lot of salary matching you can do with Chris Middleton. The team looks better without Chris Middleton. And we saw it tonight. Giannis let Dame Lillard dominate from the start to finish. Dame was hitting step back middies late in the clock. He was hitting pull up threes, fading screens off the corner. Him and Giannis Antetokounmpo had some great, play action, some phenomenal pick and roll action. And you start to think about it. Even the Raptors broadcasters were saying, wow, if you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, this is what you dream of, the Dame Lillard Giannis connection. Giannis took 8 shots to snaps his streak of 20 points and 50% from the field. But the biggest storyline here is the fact that Chris Middleton, the team is better without him right now. And they have a huge decision to make regarding his future. And we're going to continue to cover that on this channel, of course. But someone else who slid in tonight is Andre Jackson Jr. and Ryan Rollins. Now, both of the young guys, Andre Jackson Jr. had a hell of a third quarter. It was absolutely incredible. And when the team is moving the ball, when they're not forcing things, when you're playing good defense, the team hits a brand new gear. They look so much better. And Andre Jackson Jr. is the catalyst of that. We saw a couple of insane blocks out of him. We saw he's so elite. I suggest you go check out this clip. Obviously, the freeze frame wasn't great by me. I apologize. But it was a phenomenal block by Andre Jackson Jr. And we saw it multiple times. Him diving for offensive rebounds, jumping over the players, grabbing it, the hustle plays. And he was a part of the reason the Bucks went on such a big run in this game. And defense was the reason for that. It was their defense. Their defense was absolutely phenomenal. And the defense translated immediately to offense. And what that meant was you didn't have to force anything. Giannis didn't force anything. Dame didn't force anything. No one on the team tonight took over 12 shots. And when that happens, A, you're not forcing anything, but B, the ball is swinging like crazy. Giannis had 13 assists. And again, this is without Chris Middleton. Gary Trent Jr. against his former team had a fantastic night and was part of the reason that Andre Jackson Jr. didn't play a ton. Ryan Rollins in his brief minutes looked absolutely phenomenal. 10, 4, and 3. Like, their hidden gem is Andre Jackson Jr. and Ryan Rollins. It's both of those guys. They're going to be the catalyst going forward to help propel his team, specifically defensively. But by not having Chris Middleton out there tonight, and this isn't a slander of Chris Middleton, but I just don't think it's not that I don't want to, write off Chris Middleton as of yet. The team has looked better without him most of the time, and that's obviously because of the defense. However, he's scoring as efficiently as ever. It's been unlimited minutes. I want to give Chris Middleton credit where it's due. His handles look pretty rough right now. He's turning over the ball a ton. His defense has been bad. But I think for Chris Middleton, maybe even as a sixth man is where he can provide his value. Be off the bench, have less opportunity to turn over the ball, can just kind of be a scorer off the bench. But fans now are clamoring for Chris Middleton to ultimately end up, being traded for someone else who can help. And I'm curious to see. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on the Chris Middleton situation. Again, we had a video on it earlier today, but today it was just a great game. And we saw Dame hitting step back threes. We saw everybody rolling, and I want to see Andre Jackson play some more minutes. We know he's not going to be a scorer. He doesn't have that element to his game quite yet. He hits the open spot up threes. He doesn't force the offense at all. But his defense, specifically in that third quarter tonight, was electric. And what it allows the team to do is, A, of course, get fast break points, but B, doesn't let the Raptors settle into offensive rhythm at all. And we saw they were not able to do that. And obviously, it was their first time in a while. Scotty and RJ had great games as per usual, but they forced a lot of the guys into tough shots, whether that's Grady Dick, whether that's Emmanuel Quickly. So many different guys. And now, as you start to look at what this team can do going forward, it's going to be on the backs of, obviously, Dame and Giannis. And Chris Middleton's a big question mark. But these young guys, the energy they provide, and Doc Rivers came out after the game and said, has been saying all year long, when the defense plays well, it translates for this team. Now, you can say that for any team, but look at their three-point percentage. They shot 22 from 44. The reason for that, Raptors were doubling Giannis all game, led to a bunch of wide open threes for, the Bucks, whether that's from Bobby Portis, Gary Trent Jr., and Dame, and Brook Lopez, all these guys. But B, the team is playing so free right now, specifically in tonight's game. They were playing so free. Andre Jackson was playing free. Damian Lillard was playing free. They weren't forcing anything. It led to getting wide open looks, and then the pressure was off, and they continued to do it. And they knew at the same time you were going to get it back in the defensive end anyway with Andre Jackson's crazy plays, whether that was he had 3 blocks tonight. We saw some great defensive plays out of Gary Trent Jr. Gary's not the best defender, but he's a pesky, capable on-ball defender that, when he's playing really well, his offense translates into his defense and vice versa. When a team is playing good defensively and when a team is playing really gritty defensively, it immediately translates and is infectious to wide open looks from 3. And that's ultimately what we saw tonight. Again, regarding the game, we know the Bucks blew out the Raptors and it was a phenomenal, fun game to watch. But the storyline here to me is the young guys and, of course, the big question mark surrounding Chris Middleton. Because if the team continues to play well, it's going to be interesting to see if, and I was saying there was a possibility that they kept Chris Middleton off the bench. The team was playing okay with him on the bench. I'm interested to see and I'm curious to see if they're going to go that route going forward or if they're going to explore some trades, because we're hearing a lot of trade rumblings right now surrounding a lot of different players. But a very big win. Obviously, you're going up against a very weak Toronto Raptors team, but they had their full lineup tonight. Andre Jackson Jr. shined, especially in that third quarter, and that energy was infectious, and hopefully they can continue to keep this rolling against some of the better teams in the league. But Ryan Rollins, Andre Jackson Jr., a huge game from them, and hopefully they can continue going. But that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. A very interesting time to be a Bucks fan right now. We're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. See you guys later.